Bloody hell, that's the worst refereeing display I've ever seen in my life. Hello everybody, good morning everyone, it's JB here. Quick review of last night's match, Burnley against Sunderland, and I'm going to touch on a lot of, I've got a bee in my bonnet unfortunately. It finished 0-0, but that's not the half of it, you know. Some people will say for a 0-0, oh, it's probably be uneventful, but there was lots of incidents. Most of them were wrong. Referee was a complete biased nonce throughout, you know, complete biased idiot throughout. You know, he was a complete idiot. And I'm going to touch on a few key decisions that we didn't get. You know, there were 3 penalties. There was a penalty shout and 2 penalties that were given, both in Sunderland's favour. Burnley should have had 1, but we'll touch on that a little bit later on in the second half of the thing, because this is a 10-minute review, so I want to review a bit of the first half, because I thought we were the better team for 45 minutes. I thought Lyle Foster had a decent game. He had a terrific run before he was brought down. I thought his ball into Jaden Anthony for the chance to their keeper save, turned it round the post, was great. We kept possession well, we did really well. There was a moment where Trafford nearly gave Sunderland a goal, but thankfully didn't make anything of the finish. But it was but I felt we felt very comfortable, but it just didn't look as if I still think we were strikers short and all that jazz. And it was the final third. Now I'm not going to dish Foster, Rodriguez and Barnes, especially Rodriguez and Barnes, because they are Burnley legends, but they're getting on a bit in age. And the thing is that the problem with Barnes and Rodriguez, the older you get, the more pace you lose. Listen, I understand why Ashley Barnes was brought back, to add a little bit of shithousery to it, but when you look at the surface, he's 35. We need a guy to strike. I mean, we're looking at Morgan Whittaker, we're looking at Tommy Cannon, who can score goals at the level and are capable. I mean, you've got to look at that finish at Brentford with Morgan Whittaker last week to realise what a sought after player he could be from Plymouth. But so it's half time, 0-0. I think on the hour mark, I think it was about 67 minutes, ball gets knocked into the box. Ian Fleming is going to head of the ball. Now he's been pushed over quite clearly by a Sunderland player. Now this is where Anthony Blackhouse gets the bird for me on until the end of this video, because that was a clear penalty than the 2 Sunderland get, and I'll tell you for why. Right, he's pushed him, he's got a fistful of his shirt. It's a penalty. It's a penalty, right? It's a penalty. Referee doesn't give it for whatever reason. He's from Cumbria. What do you expect? He's from Carlisle. The only thing come out of Carlisle is the bloody railway out of it. I mean, honestly, he was an absolute arsehole. He should go back to bloody Carlisle Sunday League football, because refereeing Carlisle Sunday League football, because he's not good enough to be at the Championship level. Corrupt little tour rag. I was never. It was more a shout of a penalty than the 2 Sunderland got. Right. So, and then the games have been a bit of a scrap fest. And then the 84th minute, it all kicks off, doesn't it? They get a penalty. Right from when I looked at it from about 4 or 5 angles, it's about 5 yards outside. Starts 5 yards outside the box. Yes, CJ, it's a foul, right? Let me just make it clear, crystal clear. Yes, it's a foul, and CJ Egan-Riley is guilty. Yellow card, fair enough, right? No problem. What I have a problem with is the fact that the referee, in his ridiculously infamous Carlisle wisdom, or his Cumbrian wisdom, decides to give a penalty. I'm sorry, but he's about 5 yards outside the box, you little shit, you shithead from Carlisle. It's not a penalty. How can that, it's just, it just boggles the mind. It's not a penalty. It's a 3 kick outside the box, but it ain't a penalty, Mr. Blackhouse, or Mr. Shithouse, as I'm going to now call him. Absolute disgrace. Bottled it. Gave Sunderland everything. Thankfully, James Trafford, thankfully we've got a guy between the sticks who about 12 months ago I criticised for fun because he was conceding goals left, right and centre. Yeah, well, has he proved me wrong this season? Everyone said to me, oh, keep Trafford a chance, he'll come good. And hasn't he just proved it? I forget who the guy was who took the penalty. He took both penalties actually, and he goes to the goalkeeper's right, and you can tell straight away he's telegraphed it to Trafford's right, and Trafford just goes to his right. He just basically just throws himself to the ground and saves it. That was a pathetic penalty, but it was justice done because it wasn't a penalty. It was a free kick, definitely a foul. As I said, I'm not making any excuses. CJ did foul him, but it was 5 yards outside the penalty box, so it couldn't have been a pen. Not in a month of Saturdays. Anyway, the second penalty is another disgraceful one because, right, the guy, Sunderland man, comes into the box, right, so it's the left hand side of the box as we look at it on TV, right. He cuts inside. Son tries to tackle him, maybe gets a little portion of the ball, but he gets none of the man. Son throws himself to the Sunderland guy, throws himself to the ground as if he's been shot by Lee Harvey Oswald. The referee thinks about it for a good 6 or 7 seconds, decides to point at the spot. Cue pandemonium, cue all hell being broken loose, because that is not a penalty. That is a blatant attempt to cheat the referee, and which succeeded. It was never a penalty. This is where VAR, and this is where we miss VAR in these situations, because yeah, I know I criticised it and everything else, but if you've got a video assistant referee, now, because if we had VAR, I'm telling you now, none of those penalties would have been given. It's an absolute disgrace from Anthony Shithouse that he's given those penalties. I don't care if his name's Blackhouse, he's a shithouse. Because what he's done to us, what he tried to do to us, was absolutely ridiculous. It wasn't a penalty. No way in the world was it a penalty. But having said that, same penalty taker, same keeper, goes to the same side as to Trafford's right. Trafford again, throws himself to his right. Again, he telegraphs it, doesn't he? And Trafford saves again. But what I liked about Traff was, what Traff did, he held the game up for about 2 minutes when he was trying to claim a hamstring injury. We all know he wasn't, to be fair. But I thought I was good mind games, because at the end of the day, Sunderland got 2 penalties that they weren't entitled to. So in that respect, I don't blame Traff for what he did. I don't blame James Trafford for what he did. Because if you look at the decisions, they're just, the referee might as well have had a Sunderland shirt on. That's how bad he was. He gave us naff all. We should have had a clear penalty at the other end about 20 minutes before they got their 2 penalties. But justice was done anyway, because they missed, and that's it. You know what I mean? End of story. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, look, we could have lost the game. We didn't. Traff saved us a point. Now there's going to be times where Sheffield United and Leeds are going to drop points, right? There's no doubt about it, right? So I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to complain about that we've drawn none. But I do think we're lucky. But let's just go to the bigger picture for the last minute, right? I've had me say on the referee, he didn't help matters last night. Those 2 penalties were never penalties, right? So in a way, you tried to con us out of 3 points. We've taken 1, thanks to Traff. It was man of the match in my opinion. He did with those 2 saves alone. Forget about everything else he did in the game, right? As far as I'm concerned, he's man of the match, right? So yeah, but we do lack an out-and-out goal scorer. We can't rely on Josh scoring all the goals. Josh Brownhill scoring all the goals. I thought Anthony looked good for the first half, and then tailed off second half. Cian Fleming, I think he's a better player away from home than he is at home. He hasn't scored at home yet, but he is very prolific on the road, so no problems there. But we do need that bit more. You know, if we can get a Morgan Whittaker in, if we can get a Tom Cannon in, that could be the difference between going up automatically or going in the playoffs. So it's, you know, but it's a tight old top four at the moment. There's about 3 points separating 4 teams. So, you know, it's you know, it's a tough one to, you know, I mean, the penalty decisions are tough to take, but the justice was done. But it's ended on. We take the point, we move on, and you know, that's just how it's panned out. But the referee was an absolute joke, and if he never referees a Burnley match, never again.